Tej, we are on. Please start.
Good evening, friends. I welcome you all in today's speaker meeting by IPDG with Sharma, and I welcome all the guests and my fellow Rotary members. I would like to welcome Rotary Club of Thane, Lake City, Rotarian President Anirudh Vairakarji, Rotarian Uptown, Rotarian Ashok Singh from RCT Uptown, Rotarian Rahul Khandelwal from RCT North End, Mohan Ayarji from RCT Horizon, RCT from RCT Thane West, Mr. Sriram Session from RC Navi Mumbai Industrial Estate, Rotarian Anita Murgai, Rotary Club of Thane Downtown, Rotary Nisha Raju, Rotary Club of Tema Meridian Dhana, Rotary Club of Satna Baglan.
तेज सॉरी थोड़ा सा जोर से बोलना होगा.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, now.
Yeah. So I welcome all the clubs and thank them for co-hosting the event today. I also would like to welcome all the district dignitaries, past chief coordinator Dinesh Mehtaji. I think Lalit Manekji is here. No, I guess. Okay. I would also like to welcome the DGND Kailash Jetani ji. I think Kailash is here, right?
No sound.
Tej, kindly check your voice audio.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So welcome all again. I would like to ask our VP Sandeep Dhotre of Rotary Club of Thane Royals to conduct the meeting now. Sandeep, over to you. Sandeep,
Unmute and start, please. Sandeep, kindly unmute and start.
Hello. Now you're able to hear me. Right?
Yeah, Sandeep.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Santosh is there today.
Sandeep, you will have to mute from one place. Sandeep, you are on at both places.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening. I would like to request IPT Santosh to read the test.
Friends, we also have our DG Dr. Mayuresh Warkiji here. Welcome, sir.
Santosh.
Santosh will have to be unmuted. Umesh, kindly unmute him, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Umesh, for unmuting me. The four-way test of our Rotary is, of the things we think, say and do, first, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Last is, will it be beneficial to all concerned? That's a four-way test, friends.
Hello. Now I request our PP Vijay Kevalramani to welcome international guests.
Thank you, Vice President Sandeep. I would like to welcome. We have a lot of international guests today, starting with Gopalji from Nepal. We have Suresh Barwani and Anjali Bharwani and Andrew from Rotary Club of Stanmore and Edgware and Stanmore. We have participants from Rotary Club of Tema Meridian, Philip and his team. We have Rotarian Gabriel and his team from Rotary Club of Busa, Nigeria. We have Rotractor Felix and Muhammad is there. We also would like to welcome our DGN Satish Mane from District 3160, our DGE. I would like to welcome Mayuresh Warkeji all here to here. And if I have missed anybody, kindly let me know. So we'll welcome you. And thank you and hand over back to Sandeep, please.
Yeah, now I would like to request President Mohan Iyer of Thane Horizon to introduce our today's guest speaker. President Mohan Iyer, please, can you introduce?
Please unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, let me first thank Tej for this opportunity and the entire club of Rotary Club of Thane Royals and the team for also requesting us to be part of this speaker session. It gives me immense pleasure to note that there are n number of dignitaries, district dignitaries, and from the various clubs in India and abroad. That is a very, very great motivating factor for any Rotarian to see that so many people globally are connecting. So this makes the entire event, rather the speaker program today, more, I would say, impactful. Thank you to each and everyone who has joined today. Good evening once again. It gives me immense pleasure to present to you someone whom I have only come to know recently, but from whatever I have read and known about the person, I am deeply impressed. Rotarian Tony Sharma, born in England to parents from Punjab, India, studied textile engineering from Cardiff University and started his career in textile business before moving on to establishing his own property business in 1988. I've been he further went on to start his own property business in 1988 and also start his own nanotechnology business in 2012. And this business made him a globe-trotter and was traveling throughout the world in this capacity. Tony Sharma joined Rotary Club of Tower Hamlets in District 1130 London in the year 1992 and served in many posts in Rotary, both at club levels and district levels. And his achievements, there are quite a few. His achievements were duly recognized by District 1130 by electing him as the district governor in the just concluded year 2019-20, and as per Rotary protocol, he is now IPDG Tony Sharma. He has been ambassador for polio eradication in India, Ethiopia, and Pakistan, has led volunteer teams for martial duties in London during marathon and cycling events for over 12 years. Founder of Rotary Dragon Boat Festival in 1997, Rotary in Lord Mayor Show 1999, and London New Year's Parade in 2001. He became a co-founder of Indus Peace Park projects in 2015, which is one of the most ambitious projects in Rotary, and it was an effort to create the 8th wonder of the world in Punjab. Has been a sustaining Paul Harris Fellow, major donor, has set up a bakery for Home of Hope Orphanage in Ethiopia, set up a fire station in Nasala, Ethiopia, and went on to donate a fire engine. He has also donated a mini bus to an orphanage called Vatsalyam in Delhi, and also sponsored eye clinic in Kartarpur, Punjab, Pakistan. He has been an active participant in several Rotary projects and programs in UK. Most recently, he has been involved in international projects in Mexico, Brazil, Albania, Ethiopia, and our own India. A Rotarian, he belongs to the club who are called People of Action. Presenting to you our speaker for the evening, IPDG Tony Sharma.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
So let me just share the screen. Okay. So good evening from London, everybody. And I want to thank you all from whichever part of the world, whether it's Ghana, Nigeria, Nepal, India, Pakistan, wherever you are. I'm very proud to be here as a fellow Rotarian and a part of our great Rotary family. So I've been asked to talk about the Passport Club. So I will give you the official version and then afterwards there will be a small chance for some question and answers. So just to give you a very brief background, what is Rotary? It started out in 1905 as a business networking organization. It then moved to local community projects and international projects. And now the most up-to-date is that we are now having 7 areas of focus. Now we have had several clubs types, and we started off in 1905 as a traditional Rotary club where we met on a weekly basis and we used to share a meal and do our business in a social and a business manner. Rotary joined the family, then became e-clubs started, followed by satellites. Now we have corporate clubs, for example, in London, in England, in the Bentley factory, there's a Rotary club within the factory itself. The latest addition is the Passport Club, and it is on this that I will focus today. So remembering our founder and the leader, in 1935, some 30 years after Rotary was founded, he made this statement: "This is a changing world. We must be prepared to change with it." And that's exactly what we are doing by starting with the Passport Clubs. Who is the Passport Club for? It's for people who are always traveling. One day they're in France. This young gentleman started in France. From there, he went to New York. How is he going to be a member of a Rotary Club if he's never in one place at one time? It's for young women who have a family. How can they leave their family and join the Rotary meeting? Passport Club is for them. What about the volunteers who spend 3 months or 6 months on projects overseas? How can they be a part of the normal Rotary Club? Again, the Passport Club is designed for them. People who are working, for example, in the picture on an oil rig, they are away from their home for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months at a time. How can they be a part of Rotary? Again, it's the Passport Club. And latterly, the busy professionals. People who go to work early, stay late, work normally 6 to 7 hours a day, and they're really glad to have the weekend off if they get the chance. When is there time for Rotary? So, what is a Passport Club? It's the most flexible way to be a part of Rotary. A Passport Club is exactly this. It gives you the passport entry into Rotary. And here are the benefits of a Passport Club. The meetings are very different in their format. They can be face-to-face for business, face-to-face for social meetings, or face-to-face for projects. They can be online for social, for business, or even online projects. The greatest part of a Passport Club it encourages online visits to any other club, not just in our districts, but around the world. So given that this started before COVID-19, it looks like the Rotary world has become one massive passport club, because if it wasn't for COVID-19, I would not be here today speaking about passport clubs. Another aspect of Rotary Passport Club is the flexibility. Having the different options of getting involved lets people get involved whenever they want to, as opposed to, for example, my club meets every Monday evening. What happens if I'm abroad? In the olden days, I would have to make up at another club, but if my schedule allows it, and when you're traveling international, you know, you're there for 1 or 2 days, wherever that may be. Do you have time to make up? So this gives you that added flexibility. Another reason is that people say they don't have time. This gives you the flexibility. Now, Rotary around the world is very different. How it operates in London is different to how it operates in Bombay, for example. How it operates in, let us say, Brazil. One of the things we're finding is that as you're part of Rotary, the expenses are growing higher and higher. For example, if you have one weekly meeting, you have your meal cost, and then you have a social gathering, there's another cost, there's a transport cost. So passport clubs also become like a starting point of Rotary, where it's very affordable. Rotary clubs don't have the freedom of movement like the passport club. So this is an innovative product where you have the total flexible movement of freedom of being with your own club from anywhere in the world. So here in the UK, these are the requirements for a passport club. Anybody can decide what their club memorandum should be, how they should meet. But in the UK, we generally follow this practice of having 2 meetings per month, and a passport club can start with 20 founder members, and we advise a fee of £10 a month, which is £120 a year. Now that is very flexible. Your club constitution can decide what that should be. The one thing your club can't decide is what is the international subscription fee of £99, which is currently from UK. And we also suggest, and this is suggested again in London, that you actually add to that £99 at least £50 or £60, which will help to run the administrative costs. Okay, something's gone wrong here. Hold on 1 second. So, what does Rotary do? It does exactly that. A passport club gives you a passport to visit any club, anywhere, whenever you want. There are no rules as to minimum attendance. Even though there aren't in Rotary anymore, I suggest that some clubs still implement rules where they require a minimum attendance. They have still some entrenched practices which for the younger professionals is not desirable, shall we say. So how I see passport clubs working is when people fear to join an organization, what do they actually fear? They normally fear making that commitment and then not being able to fulfill that commitment. So a Rotary club, which is a passport club, takes away that fear of commitment. The younger generation, especially now through COVID-19, are more than willing to volunteer, to do good in the world. But what they don't want to do is commit and sign a piece of paper saying they will meet every week. So the passport club allows these young volunteers and professionals to come in and out of Rotary as they see fit. What I think is, and this is a personal opinion, once they engage in Rotary, once they see what wonderful fellowship and friendships they build, they will no longer want to be a part of a passport club. They will want to be part of the real Rotary family, as I call it, because We make friends by meeting each other. We make friends by sharing our social activities together. We grow together when we do projects. We feel much better when we help others. Why do we help others? Because that's why we are Rotarians. So, a passport club is a new innovation. There's not too many about. In London, we're about to launch our passport club for those specific reasons. How will it work out in the future? Only time will tell. I think it's a stepping stone into the real world of Rotary. Is the Rotary Club, the way it's has been, it's now changed to, instead of meeting every week at some venue, we're currently meeting online. Going forward, I'm looking forward to going back to my normal club meeting. But same time, I'm thinking every now and again, we should skip the normal club meeting and have a Zoom meeting so we can be much more effective and use our time more wisely. So passport clubs are here, they're here to stay, and they're here to increase the membership. At the end of the line, what matters most, we need more members to do more work. As Rotarians, we have made commitments when we became a Rotarian to help those less fortunate. We made a commitment to end polio. And as every Rotarian knows, we will fulfill that commitment to end polio. Now with 7 areas of focus, the Passport Club can focus on any one of those 7 areas as a starting point. They could join your club tomorrow when they find out that you're doing something which is of interest to them. So this is where the flexibility can work both ways. So that's all I have to say. Thank you very much for listening. I'm happy to take questions.
Rotarian Anita, kindly unmute and take word, please.
Yeah, hi friends, good evening. I have no questions on the chat room. Does individually anybody want to ask questions? Anybody coming forward with question? You could.
Questions, people can raise their hands or questions can be put on the chat.
Yeah, either way.
We'll be taking up the questions, please. Yeah, I think Gabriel, I will allow you 1 minute. Gabriel, kindly unmute and ask your question. Resident Gabriel, please ask your question, please. He is unmuted.
I think Ashok Singh had his hand up for a question as well.
Yeah, I'll just unmute them. Rotarian Abdul, kindly unmute and ask your question, please.
Very much. Rotarian Abdul from Okwasi in Ghana. I would like to ask a question with regards to our End Polio Now campaign. We all know what we are facing currently in the world, the COVID-19 pandemic. What will become of our polio campaign moving forward? Especially now we know that most countries in the world are fighting against it, and also it's nearly been eradicated. And so what will happen to our campaign of End Polio as Rotarians? Thank you.
Well, thank you for your question. It's a very hot topic because COVID-19 has decimated the fundraising of every charity, including Rotary. However, we have a commitment in Rotary to finish this project, and the people in Pakistan have already started back on the front line. They're led by Aziz Memon. I'm in regular contact with him, and they continue to do their work. And at the same time, can I congratulate Nigeria for being declared polio free?
Rotarian Mohammed, can you kindly unmute and ask your question, please?
Thank you very much, past President Vijay. Rotarian Tony, thank you for that wonderful presentation. I have learned a lot from this brief presentation. Also, thank you for congratulating Nigeria. We are sustaining the impact, and we hope that polio will be totally eradicated on the. Now, my question is with respect to the Passport Club. As time goes on, if the members of the Passport Club decide gradually, one by one, to join the mainstream Rotary Club, and eventually the club becomes probably no member in the club, because all the members have, in one way or the other, joined the mainstream Rotary Club. So what happens to that Passport Club? Or is there any sustainability arrangement for that? Thank you very much.
Again, each club, each passport club will have their own bylaws, and as per Rotary, if the members go below 4, then the club should close. However, we don't see that happening, because what we see is, we see the numbers in the passport club in excess of 200 to 300 per club, because they're not going to be regularly visiting. I think what will happen, some will migrate to regular clubs, but many will require and continue with the passport club because they need that flexibility. But to answer your question, there's no such plan in place of sustainability. What we have learned is passport clubs seem to go in very different directions. There's no 2 passport clubs that are exactly the same or the same model. So we will just have to wait and see and work. The interesting thing is, if you're a member of a passport club, it's a bit like an e-club, because you can be a member of the passport club in London, even if you're in Nigeria. You know, you can only hold 1 membership, but you can be an honorary member, if you like, in addition to as many different clubs. Thank you for your question, Mohammed.
Mohan Iyer asks, does the Passport Club function with existing club, or it functions independently?
The Passport Club will function totally independently. And in London, the way we're starting is there are several people who are unable to continue as Rotarians due to their personal commitments. And what they find is the idea of a passport club suits their needs. So that's the way it will start. And then more people will come, because then you have the experience already at the starting point in that club.
So your question is answered?
Yeah, Gopal ji from Nepal wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
Gopal ji, kindly, please.
Yeah. Good afternoon, PDG Tony Sharma. I am from Nepal. My question is that we belong to the very remote hilly area in Nepal. Even our DG, we have already chartered in 2016. Although our DG have not visit our club only once time during the 5 years. So it is very remote. You already know about by this. I want to raise the questions. Can the Passport Club works in the remote area where the district also cannot present in the remote area? Can we directly connect with them, and can we help to the needy person in the hilly remote area for the needy peoples?
Thank you for your question. That's a very good question. There's no reason why a passport club cannot participate in a remote area. It's like any other club. If you are in a remote area, you can solicit support from any other Rotary club, including a passport club. It may be some passport club might say, we want to work in the hilly area of Nepal, and they will reach out to you. So the idea of another, one of the main bases of a passport club is they're not restricted to any one project. They can do any project by linking up with anywhere else in the world to do that project.
Thank you very much.
Manoj Jadhav wants to know what is the difference between a passport club and an e-club.
The difference is with an e-club, they have regular meetings, and with Passport Club, you can have as many meetings or as less meetings as you want. We know of some passport clubs that only have 4 physical meetings a year, but they meet every other week to do their social work in the community. So that's where it differs from an e-club, the number of meetings.
Rotarians mixed from Belgium wanted to ask a question. Kindly please ask your question.
Yes, we are passport club in Belgium. One of the main issue is fundraising. How do you collect money? How do you gain money for all the the welfare project that you have?
Okay, so what we are planning is in London, we're going to start a London club, but we also already have a UK hub. So to collect the money is easy to collect the money in terms of fees, but when they do the projects, they are doing currently online projects, which is raising the money to do the funding for the projects.
Rotarian Gabriel, you had a question. Gabriel from Rotary Club Wusa Central, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Past President Vijay. Good afternoon, IPDG Tony Sharma. It's my pleasure to be here. I thank God that my immediate past president, Mohammed Anderson, has raised and has already extended his courtesies to you. My only question now has to do with the membership of Passport Club. You have itemized all those that can join the Passport Club, but I have not seen or hear you make any mention of diplomats, whether they actually fit into this category if they are Rotarians and can be considered as as members of the Passport Club. Thank you very much.
Excellent question. Thank you very much. Yes. Again, in London, we have a unique situation. A lot of the diplomats belong to 2 particular clubs in London, and they visit those clubs quite regularly. There's absolutely no reason why. For example, the problem with diplomats we have is they might be in London for 1 or 2 or 3 years, then they move to a different country. So again, this is ideal for diplomats because although they belong to a passport club, whichever country they're posted in, they can visit just like any other Rotarian that local club without having to transfer their membership. So they have a freedom of choice there. I hope that answers your question.
Devendra Shah has 2 questions. One, all 20 members should be of one country or they can be global?
One district.
Or one district. And second question is, how can business happen in Passport Club?
Okay, the first question is, anybody can be a member of any passport club. It's like joining, when anybody wants to join your club, for example, there is that process they have to go through. It's the same with the passport club. The first question one would ask in a passport club is, why would you want to be a member of the passport club in London? For example, if you're sitting in Bombay or Mumbai. So that's the first question. There has to be a valid reason. So anybody can be a member of any club. And the second question was, please remind me.
How can business happen in Passport Club?
Okay, so with the Passport Club, it's very much an online type club. So you start off with a structure of an agenda. What anybody wants to address, what they want to talk about. So prior to the meeting, whoever is the president or the convener has a list of all the questions. And you then discuss, just like in a normal club meeting, these are things people want to do. How can we do it? And then you just formulate, just like you do in a club environment, how to do whatever project you want to do and who do you know. And the advantage here is because, let us say in the past club, you have somebody from Belgium and you have somebody from, I don't know, let's say Ireland. And because the Belgians, they have a project in the Congo, they become the Congo specialist because they're working there and they get known as the Congo specialist. So if anybody wants to do any work in Congo, the first club you talk to is a specialist in Congo. So you speak to the Belgian club, say, look, we want to help you, and therefore you eliminate anything that's not correct procedure-wise, and you can rest at ease. There's somebody there who is the expert without the fear of money going astray. So you can do much more work with a passport club and with other clubs using this system.
Mohan Iyer asks, can an existing club start a passport club?
Absolutely, they can. It can. The way to do it, the way we would recommend to do it in the UK is the existing club will start a satellite club, which only requires only 8 people to become a part of that satellite club. And what happens is that satellite club actually is a passport club. So they set up their own constitution and bylaws, but they work very closely with the parent club. And as soon as that club has 20, they become a standalone club. It doesn't mean they lose all connection with the existing club. All it means they operate differently. And perhaps the reason they're separating only is because the home-based club is probably meeting every week and some members can't get there every week. So this is one of the reasons, it stops people leaving Rotary, because I can't come to your club every week. So what do? Okay, I have to leave Rotary. So this gives them the opportunity to go somewhere else.
Ashok Singh asks, can a regular club have association with passport club?
Absolutely. They can have whatever association they want with any club. A passport club is just like any other Rotary club. The only difference is their way they operate.
Adil Rafiq asks, can an ordinary club convert itself into a passport club?
It can convert to a passport club, absolutely no problem. But what you would do is, instead of convert to a passport club, you would change the bylaws of your own club and operate as a passport club. As a passport club, your name doesn't change. No club is called a passport club. It is another Rotary club, but it's known as a passport derivative.
Dual membership. Any other questions?
I have a question here from David on the chat.
Yes.
He's asking, can one belong to both ordinary passport club at the same time? Answer is, you will only allowed in Rotary to belong to one club as a paying member. If you want to be associated with another club, you would have to request honorary membership to be able to meet them. But you don't need to. You can visit any club at any time. So I don't know if that would make any sense.
Rotarian Vineet Shah wants to ask a question. Vineet, please. Vineet, kindly ask your question. Okay, I think he is not there. Anita ji, you please continue.
Yeah.
Omkar from RC Downtown was asking for.
Yeah, but let Anita ji continue. We'll allow them.
IPDG Tony. So we can have, any Rotarian can have a dual membership? I was not clear on that.
No, you can not have a dual membership. You can only have one membership of one club, but as a member of Rotary, you're a member of the Rotary family. So you can visit any club at any time. You can have any association with any club at any time.
Yes. Thank you.
I have a question. I'm Vineet here.
Yeah.
Can I ask question, Vijay?
Yeah, Vineet, please.
Yeah. Sir, this passport club, there are any better chance of doing global grant projects, because since members can be from any part of the world, there are chances of doing a greater global grant projects.
I wouldn't say there's a greater chance.
Yeah.
The chance is the same. There's actually no difference. You must look at a passport club as just another club. The only thing you have to bear in mind is not a club that meets every single week and maybe have a meal together, etc. So it's just a different type of operating, but it is a regular club.
Okay. So will it help in global grant if they want?
If they want to, sure, just like any other club, if they want to help you with any project,
Yeah.
they would do the same, just like we would as a standard club.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Adil Rafiq has another question. Differences between passport club and ordinary club bylaws.
Okay, so when you start any club, whether it's 2019 or 15, 18 or whatever it is, you have a standard set of bylaws, which over time gets amended to suit the club. When you start a passport club, you're starting from the beginning again, and you choose the bylaws that suit you within the framework. So you're not inheriting any past practices. That is one of the advantages. So you move away from the, shall we say, the highly administrative part of Rotary when you don't have the existing bylaws of Rotary.
Are there any collabs that one?
There is a question from Nisha ji. Kindly, Anita ji, if you can just take it up. It's a question from Nisha Raju.
Who's voting right? I'm voting right.
Maybe we can unmute her. She can.
I can't see the.
Okay, the question is, can Rotractors take dual membership into passport club also?
Now, this is a very interesting question. As a Rotractor, you are a part of Rotary, but as a Rotractor, you can also be a Rotarian. Likewise, a Rotarian can now also be a Rotractor because there's no upper limit. As a Rotractor, in the coming years, you will also start paying fees. So the question is, would you want to pay two lots of fees to be a Rotractor as well as a Rotarian? But the answer to your question is, if you're a Rotractor, you can be a Rotarian, and that is even if it's a passport club or a regular club. Does that answer your question, Nisha ji?
Are you satisfied, Mr. Adil?
Yes. Go to the, kindly move to the next question, Anita ji.
Okay. PK Acharya asks, does a passport club have voting rights?
Yes, indeed. The passport club has the same voting rights as any other club or any other Rotarian. And the votes are always based on, as you know, the number of Rotarians in that club.
Mr. David, this question has been answered, difference between E-Club and Passport Club. It has been answered before. You want him to answer again?
Question he earlier answer was difference between passport and ordinary club. Now he is asking a difference between E-Club and passport.
Okay, Mr. Tony.
Okay, so the difference between a passport club and an E-Club is very simple. An E-Club meets regularly, maybe on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis, whereas the passport club meets infrequently and it never has a set weekly or a bi-weekly meeting time or date. The second part is, in an E-Club, again, you're bound by the bylaws of your club, which may be you have to participate every week or every other week. Whereas in the passport club, there is no such restriction on how many times you have to participate. I think that answers your question. David?
I have a question for you, IPDG, Tony.
Is a passport club,
is a passport club
registered with any
with a particular district,
or
it belongs to a particular district?
Yes, indeed. For example, the passport club we will establish in London will become District 1130 Passport Club, and any other passport has to be a part of some district. That's why it will become a part of that district and therefore comply with all the requirements of that district in terms of being a part in the voting for the district governor, for example, being part of district council, etc.
Thank you so much. From Galaxy Note 9, the name is not written. How many countries have passport clubs, and total how many such clubs are there at the moment?
That's the best question so far because I don't know the answer. I know there's at least 5 passport clubs around the world, but I don't have the numbers, I'm afraid, because they are very new and we don't have the data to hand.
Suchit Gadkari asks, can a person from Mumbai be a member of London Passport Club?
Absolutely be a member, no problem whatsoever.
That is what
They would have,
Passport Club is about.
yes, a member from Mumbai, he would have to pay his fees to the London Club and he would be a member there. The question one would ask is, why would a person in Mumbai want to be a member of the London Club? How would he contribute to a project in and around London, for example?
Right.
So this is a question one would ask.
True. Anything else, please? I think that's all.
Sandeep, you can talk over.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Anita ma'am, for taking this question answer session. Thank you, IPDG Tony Sharma ji. I would like.
I think Sandeep, there's one more question. Anita ji, just take the last question from Adil.
Yeah, there's a question.
You are muted, Anita ji. You are muted.
Yeah, sorry. Adil is asking, is Rotary membership on invitation, and what is the process of Passport Club? Further, there's one more question. Is there any clarification restrictions? Classification restrictions as ordinary Rotary Club?
No.
I think I'll have to go through the questions again. I'm not too clear about what he's asking.
The question is, Rotary membership is on invitation. What is the process for a Passport Club? Whether it is also by invitation or anybody can just approach.
Not anybody. Rotary is always by invitation. The process we have in London is, and I'm not sure how it operates in Mumbai, is when people inquire they would like to be join Rotary, they have a process. And the process that what happens in London is they come to an online virtual meet. They have to visit 3 to 4 times, so we get to know them, they get to know us, and then they're allowed to apply for membership. Because they've been 3 or 4 times, there'll be certain people who will be knowing who that person is and will have been mentoring that person. And once they mentor that person, they will make a decision whether that person is fit to be a Rotarian. So when they apply to the Passport Club, we will know that person, and therefore the invitation will be extended if we think they're a fit and proper person for Rotary. Not everybody is eligible for Rotary, as I'm sure you know.
His second part is there any clarification regarding restrictions? Are there any restrictions as there are on Rotary clubs, ordinary clubs?
There is no restrictions. What happens is when you, let us say there's an existing Passport Club, you have to ask those questions as to what are the bylaws of your club. So, for example, my club was established in 1929, and we still go by the bylaws which say we should meet every week. So if the new Passport Club says we meet every 6 months, for example, the first Passport Club that started in California, their bylaws state we only meet twice a year.
Okay,
so you can then change your bylaws accordingly.
Right. One more question is there any district module for the functioning of Passport clubs, or it becomes part of the original district, current district?
The Passport Club is a part of the current district where it started, where it's chartered.
Okay. Does a Passport Club needs to be sponsored by a traditional club only?
It no longer needs to be sponsored at all. What tends to happen around the world is that people who want to leave Rotary because they can't do Rotary because of maybe change of job, etc., they're the ones who form the Passport Club. So they can then formulate the club in a way, but they have the people. New people couldn't start any club, let alone a Passport Club, because they have no experience of Rotary.
And DGN Satish from District 31460 is asking whether Passport Club needs to have only physical meeting or they can have virtual meetings also.
a passport club, as long as they have, again, it's down to your bylaws, they don't need to have a physical meeting as such. But what tends to happen, they meet when they're doing the projects. So that's when they have the face-to-face meeting. They do not need to have any face-to-face meeting if they don't want.
Thank you. And over to Sandeep, please. Sandeep, kindly take over.
Thank you so much. That was a questionnaire that I think very educative and very informative. There's lots to take back home. Thank you so much, Rotary and Tony.
VP
Thank you,
Sandesh,
Anitaji.
please.
Yeah. Thank you, Anitaji. Now, I would like to ask DG-elect Dr. Mayuresh Wake to say a few words.
He just left, it seems his net connection is off. So please
okay.
proceed.
So now I would like to request PP Past President Vijay Kevalramani to present certificate of appreciation to the speaker.
Yeah, thank you, Sandeep, for giving me the opportunity. And before we present the certificate, I would just like to welcome the people who left out to be welcome overseas. There were a lot of overseas guests, so I would just like to take their names. Smith from Rotary Club EE Club of Belgium, Vivek Sharma from Rotary Club Abuja Diamonds, Nigeria, Abdul Momin from Ghana, Rotarian President Park Wesi from Rotary Club Accra Cantonment, Rotarian Shah President Rotary Club Dhaka Dreamers. Then we have Anita Sobra President Rotary Club Accra Airport City, President Abdul Momin Rotary Club Obuasi, Rotarian Roxanne Veja West Ghana, Rotarian Sharmila Nagarajan, who's from the club of the speaker today, RC Tower Hamlets, London. Rotarian President Kwame from Rotary Club Accra West, Rotarian George Hemra, Rotary Club Abuja Ministers, Madhu Vishnu from E Club of Melbourne, Nako Akotia, Rotary Club Sunyani Central, Nigeria, Vijay Agarwal from Bhubaneswar Club, Marge Lambert, past president, Rotary Club Paranak Metro from Philippines, past president Mauli from Rotary Club Accra Airport City, Rotarian David from Rotary Club Monrovia, Liberia, and Oyodan District 9125, Nigeria, Rotarian Eric from Rotary Club of Ho, Ghana. And now to the pleasant task of presenting a certificate. We thank you, sir, for having come and graced us. Just give me 1 minute. So on behalf of our club and all the participating clubs, we would like to give you this certificate of appreciation. And this will be mailed to you, sir. Kindly accept it as virtually right now. And thank you very much. We also have Rotarian Sayyeda Simran from Rotary Club of Hassan, Pakistan. Back to Sandeep, please.
I think he lost his connection. So
okay. Now I request Rotarian Philip Gebu. Yeah, I request Rotarian Philip Gebu from Rotary Club Tema Meridian to kindly propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you,
Philip, kindly unmute.
On behalf of the Rotary Club of Thane Royals, Rotary Club of Thane West, Rotary Club of Thane Lake City, Rotary Club of Thane Uptown, Rotary Club of Thane Horizon, Rotary Club of Thane Northern, Rotary Club of Thane Downtown, and the Rotary Club of Thane Meridian, we want to thank our PDG, Rotarian Tony Sharma, for such a wonderful presentation. And I believe that today has been an opportunity for us to learn more about the Passport Club. And I believe that many of us will still want to learn more And I know anytime we call upon you, IPDG Tony Sharma, you'll be available to give us more insight into this. Thank you so much. And we are very, very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you very much.
Now we would request Secretary Umesh Patel to kindly give the secretarial announcement, please.
So friends, today we had a total attendance at peak of 120 members, participants from across the globe. Apart from that, this is for our club members. Our next meeting will be held on 19th of August at 8 p.m., which will be a club assembly. And our next speaker meeting will be held on 26th of August, which will be on membership, where speaker would be past President Satish Maneji. And so far, Rotary Club of Wusa Central from Nigeria has agreed to join in as a co-host. If any other club wishes to join in as a co-host, you're most welcome. And apart from that, we have a happy announcement. One of our members' daughter, Ojasvi Sali, is celebrating her birthday on 16th of August. Thank you.
Thank you, friends. And with this, Sandeep is not there, na? So
okay.
I take the honor in place of our President to adjourn the meeting and request you all to kindly join us for fellowship. All can continue. We'll be unmuting.